and gentlemen, our program is about to begin soon. Hello and good afternoon, I bid to everyone. My name is Michael, and I'm currently a language teacher in SGKC for you too. Today, we are glad to have the privilege to welcome our guest of honors, Tuan Haji Omar bin Saleh, the Deputy District Education Officer of Students Development Sector in Johor Bahru, Puan Nur Wahida binti Muhammad Kasim, Penolong Pengarah Pembangunan Bakat Murid JPNJ, Puan Zarina binti Razali, Penolong Pengarah Pembangunan Bakat Murid JPNJ, Dr. Teng Lee Chong, our honorable guest speaker, teachers and students from SMK Sultan Ismail and SMK Nusa Damai Pasir Gudang. As the representative of my school today, I would like to welcome all of you to our program on the topic Stories Beyond the Beans. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so that our program can go on smoothly. First of all, I would like to gladly remind everyone to turn off their microphones to avoid disturbance to the presenter. Besides that, you will have the opportunity to submit the questions to your presenter today by typing your questions into the comments in YouTube Live or Zoom. You may send your questions at any time during the presentation, and we will collect these and address them at the end of the presentation. Last but not least, this is very important. A quiz in the form of Google form will be administered at the end of the session. E-certificates will only be issued to the participants who manage to achieve the required scores. The requirements for each course for year 4 to year 6 pupils will be at least 60% and above, whereas for Form 1 to Form 3 pupils, you will need to score at least 70% and above in the quiz provided. So good luck in answering them. Do note that the form will not be accessible after 10 p.m. Before we start our program today, first of all, I would like to invite Madam Lu Chung Huang, the headmistress of SJKC Fung Yu 2, to deliver her welcoming speech today. Madam Lu, the floor is yours.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada saudara pengacara majlis yang berusaha Tuan Haji Omar bin Saleh, Timbaran Pengarah Sektor Pembangunan Murid Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Johor, yang berusaha Tuan Haji Muhammad Kamal bin Ahmad Untung, Pegawai Pendidikan Daerah Johor Bahru, yang berusaha Dr. Teng Lee Chong, Pakar Alam Sekitar dan Pengurusan Sisa Pekerja, pegawai-pegawai JPNJ dan PPD, guru-guru penolong kanan, guru-guru, para ibu bapa dan murid-murid yang saya kasihi sekalian. Salam sejahtera dan salam muafakat Johor. Saya berasa amat gembira kerana pada hari ini kita dapat bersama-sama dalam webinar perkongsian ilmu tentang pengurusan sisa pekerja di Malaysia. Terlebih dahulu, saya ingin mengambil kesempatan ini untuk merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan syabas dan tahniah kepada semua pihak yang terlibat dalam memastikan program ini dapat dilaksanakan seperti yang telah dirancang. Hadirin sekalian, dengan adanya program seperti ini, guru-guru dan murid-murid dapat menambahkan ilmu pengetahuan dalam pengurusan bahan buangan sisa pekerja dalam kehidupan harian. Semoga program ini dapat melahirkan generasi yang menghargai alam sekitar dengan mengamalkan amalan kita semula. Akhir kata, terima kasih kepada semua pihak yang telah berganding bahu dalam memastikan program ini dilaksanakan dengan jayanya. Sekian, terima kasih.
Many thanks to our Madam Lu for her delightful speech. Next, I would like to invite Tuan Haji Omar bin Saleh, who is currently the Deputy District Education Officer of the Students Development Sector in Johor Bahru, to officiate our program this afternoon. Tuan Haji Omar, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Terima kasih kepada pengacara majlis yang berhormat Tuan Haji Kamal bin Ahmad Untung, Pegawai Pendidikan Daerah Johor Bahru, yang saya hormati Puan Lu Chung Huang, Guru Besar SJKC FONU 2, selaku pengerusi jawatan kuasa Webina pengurusan sisa pepejal di Malaysia secara dalam talian, yang saya hormati Dr. Teng Lee Chong, pakar pengurusan sisa pepejal selaku penceramah undangan kita pada hari ini. Yang saya hormati juga pegawai dari Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Johor, pegawai di Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Johor Bahru, para pengetua, guru-guru besar, barisan guru kanan, guru penolong kanan dan warga pendidik sekolah-sekolah rendah dan menengah negeri Johor yang saya kasih sekalian. Seterusnya ahli-ahli jawatan kuasa webinar dan para peserta webinar yang dikasihi. Alhamdulillah, bersyukur kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala kerana dengan izin dan rahmatnya maka kita dapat bersua secara dalam talian bersama-sama untuk kita menjayakan webinar pengurusan sisa pepejal di Malaysia secara langsung dalam talian pada tahun 2022 ini. Terlebih dahulu saya ingin merakamkan ucapan jutaan terima kasih dan tahniah kepada seluruh jawatan kuasa pengelola webinar pengurusan sisa pepejal di Malaysia secara langsung dalam talian atas kejayaan dalam menjayakan webinar ini. Mudah-mudahan kerjasama yang erat ini akan berterusan pada masa-masa yang akan datang. Tahniah dan syabas juga kerana telah berjaya menghimpunkan peserta-peserta dari sekolah-sekolah rendah serta sekolah-sekolah menengah rendah khususnya di negeri Johor dan amnya di negeri-negeri lain di Malaysia dalam webinar ini. Sebagaimana yang kita sedia maklum, usaha ini memerlukan komitmen yang tinggi daripada semua pihak kerana webinar ini dilaksanakan secara dalam talian. Maka pihak Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Johor berharap agar aktiviti-aktiviti sebegini akan dapat memberi banyak manfaat kepada semua peserta. Hadirin hadirat yang saya kasih sekalian, sebenarnya Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia telah memperkenalkan satu konsep baharu dalam pelaksanaan dan pembelajaran di sekolah, iaitu Sekolahku Sejahtera. Saya melihat bahawa webinar pengurusan sisa pepejal di Malaysia ini mampu mendukung ke arah pembentukan budaya amalan baik yang dilaksanakan secara berterusan di dalam dan di luar bilik darjah melalui aktiviti co-curriculum, contohnya kelab alam sekitar, kelab kitar semula dan sebagainya. Bertepatanlah dengan konsep Sekolahku Sejahtera yang mewujudkan suasana sekolah yang selamat, sekolah yang aman, selesa, menggembirakan, membina dan inklusif ke arah mencapai kesejahteraan masyarakat, dan program ini dilihat mampu untuk memberikan murid satu dimensi baru dalam pendidikan kita. Tuan-tuan dan puan sekalian, pada tahun 2021 secara puratanya 8,547.76 tan sisa pepejal telah dikutip setiap hari. Dan dasar pengurusan sisa pepejal dan pembersihan awam menekankan bahawa sampah diuruskan mengikut hierarki pengurusan sisa dalam mengurangkan penjanaan sisa berlandasan kepada konsep 3R. Pendedahan isu pengurusan sisa pepejal melalui pendidikan sebenarnya amat penting untuk membuka minda murid kita dan seterusnya menyadari bahawa kepentingan penjagaan kebersihan alam sekitar. Murid-murid disarankan memainkan peranan dalam menguruskan sisa pepejal di kediaman masing-masing dengan membudayakan amalan harian dan amalan kitar semula secara harian. Amalan ini sebenarnya bukan saja dapat mengurangkan penghasilan sisa pejal, malah dapat juga menjana pendapatan sampingan bagi mereka. Usaha murni ini dan usaha murni penganjuran webinar seperti ini diharap akan dapat digemling bersama dalam merealisasikan konsep sekolahku sejahtera berteraskan prinsip dan hasrat bagi mewujudkan suasana sekolah yang selesa, yang menggembirakan, membina dan inklusif ke arah mencapai kesejahteraan masyarakat negara kita ini. Adanya program webinar seumpama ini diharap ianya dapat meningkatkan tahap kesedaran tentang peranan setiap individu dalam mengurus sisa pepejal, seterusnya menjadi titik tolak kepada perubahan minda ataupun mindset change, perubahan tingkah laku, behavioral change, dan perubahan budaya, culture change ke arah kesejahteraan bersama. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian, sebelum mengakhiri ucapan saya ingin mengucapkan sekali lagi tahniah kepada para peserta yang telah mengikuti webinar dengan jayanya pada hari ini. Akhir kata, sekali lagi tahniah dan syabas kepada semua pihak yang telah menyumbang idea, tenaga dan komitmen yang sangat tinggi bagi menjayakan webinar pada hari ini. Maka dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya merasmikan webinar pengurusan sisa pepejal di Malaysia secara langsung dalam talian tahun 2022. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Tuan Haji Omar, for his enlightening speech. For our next agenda, I would like to invite all of you to turn on your camera for a photo opportunity. Mr. Su, can you help us to take a picture? Please turn on your camera.
Thank you, Michael. For a moment, yeah. Okay. So I would like everyone to turn on your cam. So I'll count on 3, 2, 1. For the first shot, for a moment. Okay, please look at the cam. Okay. And then for the second shot. Okay, and then the last one. One more last, okay. Thank you. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for your cooperation, especially our photographer, Mr. Su. Okay, now, before the presentation begins, allow me to introduce our presenter today. His name is Dr. Tang Lee Chong. He is currently an environment and waste management specialist in Malaysia. He graduated his doctorate PhD in Fukuoka University, Japan. He is also the national coordinator for the collaboration between Ministry of Environment Japan and Ministry of Housing and Local Government Malaysia. Dr. Tang is also one of the experts and key researchers in managing the projects of Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and SIRIM Working Group on Waste Management. Besides that, he is also the president of Green Living Society in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. He has also gained an abundant wealth of project experiences, not only in our country, Malaysia, but also in several countries such as Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Japan, the Philippines, for the ADB, MOEJ, DANIDA, JICA, UNDP, World Bank, and many more. Thus sharing today is to open critical challenges on the West that we provided, future works, and predominant activities that could bring the best impact even for the small contribution. By joining our session today, students will be able to encounter the most basic understanding in the variety of stories beyond the beans. And without further ado, Dr. Tang, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me, Michael?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael, for your introduction. Let me share the screen. Yeah, how? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, selamat petang. Saya ucapkan kepada Tuan Haji Omar, kepada Guru Besar SJKC, FUNU 2, guru-guru, ibu bapa, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, dan murid-murid yang dikasihi sekalian. Welcome to my storytelling session. Okay, actually, I just received one question from a fresh graduate, the SPM level today. What actually did I study when this student, he tried to explore in the future, if he wants to work on environment, so what should be the best option for him to choose in the university? So actually, to give you a very brief introduction, I study environmental science in my first bachelor degree. But in environmental science, you can choose to major in waste management. In Bahasa, it's called pengurusan sisa pekerja. Okay, and then you can also choose to study wastewater treatment or air pollution or different major of environmental subject. So for me, I study waste management for my first degree and further to my master degree and then PhD degree. That's why when people ask me what actually did you study in your university, sometimes I just explain I study rubbish. It's really I study rubbish from my first degree to PhD degree, and I study rubbish from Malaysia to Japan to Germany. So I work mainly also on waste management project, on advisory, training, and so on. Okay, so why I give the topic of my talk today, story beyond the bin. I think many of you are aware that you can see, most of you see the waste up to the point where you throw the waste into the bin. Okay, you don't know what happened after that. So I'm going to show you a lot of photos, especially what happened next after the bin, after the waste collected. So I'm going to show you a lot of photos that you have never seen before. Okay, so, but before that, I'm going to give you a little bit of update on the status of our Earth now. How is the situation on Earth now? Can any of you guess how old is our Earth? Okay, maybe some of you, because it's not a physical event, I can't hear. Some of you may guess maybe 1 million years, maybe 10 million years.
Few billion years, I think.
Few million years. Few million years?
Billion, 100
Okay.
billion.
Okay, actually the Earth is 4.5 to 4.6 billion years old. Okay, some of you students, if you don't know how many zero is there at the back of this billion, you can ask your teacher later. This is the scientist findings. Our Earth is at least 4.5 to 4.6 billion years old. Okay, so the next question. Any of you can guess how old human has been living on Earth? As old as the Earth? Yeah, you can just on if anyone want to give a guess.
Since 63 million years ago.
63 million.
63 million years ago.
Okay, it's very close to it. Actually, there are many science findings that tells you from 6 to 50 million years, human has been living on the Earth. Okay, Then we tried to compare some other animals on Earth. You see, first animal on Earth actually detected by the scientists about 800 million years ago. Crocodiles appeared on Earth 280 million years ago. Crocodile, 200 million years ago. And this is a platypus, 170 million years ago. Okay, and on the right side, you can see all the dinosaurs, including birds, appeared on Earth about 243 million years ago. So you can see here, actually, human on Earth actually is a very young species. Is it right? We are even younger than crocodiles. We are even younger than crocodile. But human is rather young species, but we are not so wise. We are quite naughty on Earth. You see, human is destroying the Earth. We are the only creature on Earth that are destroying our own land. Have you ever seen an animal on Earth that destroying our own land? No, only human destroying our own land. That's why you see here, this is a cartoon, it's not real, of course. The message here is that if there is any other creatures from other planet, they are going to laugh at human. What are you doing there on your planet? You are destroying your own Earth. The fact is, the human population has increased year by year. I think all of us know. This is the latest statistic I found. Human population on Earth has reached about 7.96 billion people and expected to reach 8 billion people very soon in one more year. And that is the biggest problem on Earth, because the more human population grows, the more our Mother Earth suffers. How it suffers? Not only the Mother Earth, the environment suffers, other creatures on Earth also suffer. You see these animals, this is an elephant, okay? The message is there. These are all posters that I have posted before under my society, Green Living Society. You can find the Facebook, you can see a lot of posters there, okay? So this is what humans do on other animals, and also rhinoceros like this. They just cut any parts that they feel is valuable. They want the part, they want the horn, so they just kill the animals like this. Okay, then I will show you some shocking statistic here. Human population of 7.9 billion population. Human consume a total of 65 billion livestock or farm animals per year. Can you see how much actually animals that we are eating? About 30% of food that we produce is used to feed the animals actually. We grow like the soybean, like some of the wheat, the products, the crops actually are feeding to all the animals, livestock industry. Okay, while the world hunger population has already reached about 830 million in this year, 2022. 830 million are facing hunger, but we feed 30% of our food on Earth to the animals. And from the total greenhouse gas emission on Earth, I think you know about greenhouse gas emission, right? About 14.5% comes from animal farming, livestock activities. Okay, this is how our consumption pattern changed the world. The same 7.9 billion people, on average, every human consume 8.5 farm animals or livestock per year. You see the numbers, maybe you feel it's impossible how one person can eat 8.5 farm animals per year. This include, of course, a lot of processed meat, like your sausage, your ham, and a lot of other products that you eat every day. Unless you are a vegetarian, then you don't contribute to this statistic. Okay, that is because in order to satisfy the desire to eat, actually human uses a lot of biotechnologies, the hormone, to intensify livestock and animal farming at a very large scale with the highest speed possible, which are all seriously against the law of nature. Okay, the report of United Nations actually a few years ago suggested that in order to overcome our climate change, the climate crisis on Earth, the most effective way is to change our consumption habit to reduce eating meat. I think United Nations know they aware that it is not possible to ask every human being to be vegetarian. It's not possible. But the message is very clear. There is no other way but to reduce eating meat, please. Because the desire of human eating meat is already far against the law of nature. You see this photo, there's a message there. A chicken, a normal chicken, traditionally, I think if I remember the old days during my grandmother's time, a chicken needs 180 days to grow up before it is slaughtered to be food for human. But due to the human extreme demand and desire to eat, technology makes the chicken to be grown up in only 35 days. This is against the law of nature, and yet human keeps enjoying this freaking cycle, okay? Next is about deforestation. The 7.9 billion people on Earth, we are cutting down forests about 10 million hectares every year. Since 1990, a total of 420 million hectares of natural forests have been cut down on Earth caused by human activity for all kinds of purposes, for farming, for housing, for agriculture, and different purposes. The situation of natural wetland is even worse. Some statistics shows that only 13% of the total wetland areas are still remain on Earth up to year 2000. Only 13%. That means we have lost 87% of our wetland on Earth. Let's talk about waste. Okay, the same 7.9 billion human on Earth, we actually produce about 2 trillion kilograms of waste on Earth every year. And the World Bank study estimated that by year 2050, we are going to almost double. It's not double, but increase to 3.4 trillion kilograms per year of waste on Earth. So you can see here very clearly, human, when our population increased to around 8 billion, we keep extracting natural resources from the Earth, and we leave all kind of rubbish on Earth. So that is what actually we do to our Earth. And this is the main problem, the cause of the problem. We are doing a lot of things that against the law of nature. 违反大自然法则. Okay, against the law of nature, then the whole world is facing a lot of problems that we often hear now: ozone depletion, extreme weather, global warming. I think all of you know all these issues: climate change, sea level rising, including since 2 years back, our pandemic, our COVID-19, big problem for the whole Earth. Outbreak of disease is also part of the consequence of human against the law of nature on Earth. So let's come back to our story. Let's talk rubbish now. From now on, the story is beyond the bin. I think, as I explained to you earlier, many of you have seen rubbish up to the point where you throw your rubbish into the bin, whether you throw it at home or in your office or in the school. But many of you never seen what happened next. Maybe some of you who drive, maybe teachers or parents here, when you drive, sometimes you see a rubbish truck like this, and then you will see it's very smelly, so you better drive faster and overtake the truck. This is what happened when the truck opened after they collect all the waste from point to point, from the school, from the household, from the commercial, different places. This is what happened after that. They dump to the landfill. This is actually a photo taken at the landfill. I will show you more photos of landfill after this. And talk about waste. There are so many different types of waste that we have generated in our daily life. Municipal solid waste is what normally we commonly can see. I think everybody knows old newspaper on the right side, which are bundled and can be recycled. The plastic bottles on the top there, you can see, you also generate maybe from the school, at your home. And down there is the food waste, okay? Food waste that you also generate from your house, from the kitchen, or from the canteen of school. And there are many other things that actually normally layman like you have never seen. Such a number of waste. Like this photo, you can see actually is the recyclers. When they receive all the PET bottles, the mineral bottles, not even other bottles. Here in this photo is only mineral water. This is how much actually they receive, and even more like this. This is not in Malaysia. This is in China. They have received a lot of bottles to be recycled. Okay, of course, some of you may not have seen all this. This is industrial waste, unless maybe some of you, your parents are working in the industry. Maybe they have experience of dealing with all the industrial waste. There are so many different kind of industrial waste that produce due to our demand also. Okay, because we use a lot of products. Like you see here on the left bottom here, there is a quite common brand, Cloud9 chocolate. I think every of you know this is a junk food. Okay, it's a chocolate. But in the industry that produce this chocolate, they have a lot of waste left behind. On the top here, this is from a wood industry. Then in the middle top here is the plastic industry. Okay, and down here is actually from a metal processing industry. On the right side, up and down, actually is a coffee making industry in Malacca. They produce a lot of coffee husks. Okay, because we drink coffee, right? We drink coffee with the coffee powder and so on. And this factory produce a lot of coffee husks that they have to throw away every day. Then, of course, a lot of other things that maybe school will have this problem, but maybe not the students. Okay, like this is a fluorescent lamp. Fluorescent lamp, the conventional type of fluorescent lamp contain mercury. Okay, mercury, which is very poisonous and very hazardous to the environment, and it can pollute the environment and very, very hazardous to human health. Okay, nowadays, many of these fluorescent lamp already been replaced by LED lamp. Okay, LED lamp has no mercury, but they may contain some other hazardous material. So how about this? This is not so much relevant to students, okay, but this is maybe, yeah, your parents are driving, teachers are driving. When you change the tire in the workshop, will you bring back the old tire back to your home? You won't, right? You will leave at the workshop. So what happened next? It will not disappear on earth. Okay, it will stay there, and next destination, you will go to somewhere, you know, like it's a place that they have to deal with it. This is not in Malaysia. This is a tire dump site in Kuwait, in Middle East area. They have billions of pieces of tire from the vehicles. Okay, so this is another thing that we generate in our daily life. This is taken in Japan. That's why I say I study rubbish from Malaysia to Japan to Germany, so I mean different countries, and taken all these photos. This photo is taken in Japan on only washing machine. You can see the washing machine, and this is what we call electronic waste, e-waste. Okay, 电子废料. Electronic waste, sister electronic, is some kind of hazardous waste because the electrical circuit board contain hazardous material. I think maybe some of you have heard electrical board also contains some gold, platinum. Yes, it does. It does contain some gold, platinum, and very expensive material, but the quantity is very, very, very small. Okay, that means the whole bundle of the whole ton, 1,000 kilogram is 1 ton. One whole ton of electronic waste, maybe you can get a few grams of gold, or 0.00 few grams of gold. So it is actually containing a very, very low valuable material, and you need actually a lot of cost to treat the electronic waste to ensure the hazardous material is not polluting the environment. So we can't look into only one part of hazardous, I mean, you can't only look at one part of valuable products, valuable material from waste, but you also have to make sure the hazardous part, the non-recyclable part is well managed. Then you can, then only you can make sure the waste is properly disposed of. Okay, this is in Japan also. You see the TV here is all big one, right? The big, we call it a CRT TV. I think maybe some of you, the students are young, you are too small, maybe you have never seen this. I think teachers and parents have seen this. In the old days, they have this big, bulky television. Now all flat screen, right? Now all very slim flat screen. This photo taken in Japan when the time of changing CRT TV to flat screen TV. Okay, so there are hundreds of thousands pieces of televisions generated. And this is what a lot of hazardous things that you have to manage. Same for many other things, like this is a used vehicle, car, okay, and different parts of the vehicle that you can see. These are all photos taken in a factory in Klang, where they actually sell all these scrap vehicle parts to other buyers from all around the world. Okay, these are all the engines and also different parts of the car. Okay, anybody knows what is this? Okay, this is a palm oil empty fruit bunches. I think many of you have seen the palm oil fruit bunches actually with all the red color seeds, right? So after the fruits into the factory and extracted by the factory, the oil, the seed, these are all the fiber that they have to dispose of. This is also waste. So is this waste not related to all of you? It is, because you use a lot of product. You use the oil, you use the cooking oil, you use the soap, you use the shampoo. Okay, these are all containing palm oil ingredients. So these are all industrial waste, agricultural waste that generated based because of our daily use. How about this? This one, unless you are a vegetarian, otherwise all of you contribute to this waste. This is a slaughtering house. Slaughtering house that slaughter 2,000 animals every day. Okay, it's really a terrible place, worst place that I've ever been in my life. You go in there, you hear all the animals crying and shouting. Okay, 2,000 animals slaughtered every day, and the company start facing problem of having all this intestine at the back there. You can see the blood, the lungs. So they also have to find a way how to dispose it, because normal landfill site, landfill is what we call tapak pelupusan sampah, is where we discard, where we dispose the solid waste into the land. I will show you some photos later. Normal landfill site is not designed to dispose this kind of waste, which is very how to say, is medically you need special treatment. Okay, normal landfill site is only designed to take our daily municipal solid waste. So this company facing problem to dispose, and they have to look for alternative how to properly dispose of all this waste. And this is not a mountain or a sand. This is actually rice husk. Okay, this is rice husk. Rice husk is sekam padi. Yeah, it's a sekam padi that we don't eat the whole what I call the rice, including the husk. So the rice meal actually processed, and we take the rice, and the husk is left behind. Any of you here not eating rice? Semua orang makan nasi. So everybody contribute to this actually. And this is a factory in Sekinchan area. Actually, how they deal with this? During the old time, actually they don't have any other method except they put on a fire and burn the whole thing. And it creates a lot of air pollution, because you have no way to transport this rice husk away from the place. Rice husk is a very light thing, you know, it's too light to be transported. You transport a whole lorry of rice husk, you are transporting actually maybe 90% or 95% of air, because it's too light. Okay, so it is not possible to be transported away. So at the end, the rice mill have to do some treatment on the spot, or just put on fire and burn it out on the spot at the rice mill. So there are other things also that directly in related to you. If you are doing your renovation of your house or in your office or school, these are all the things that left behind, the construction waste. Okay, so you can see here for the past 5 minutes or so, I show you a lot of photos of different waste. You can see here all are summarized into this slide. Commercial waste, there are special waste, like I say just now, the tire, chemical waste, electronic waste. All these are interrelated in our life, and actually are all generated based on our daily needs and consumption. So the next question is how much waste actually we are generating in Malaysia. This is official data from the ministry, Data Penjanaan Kutipan Sampah for the past 10 years. Okay, you can see here, the daily generation of our waste keep increasing. According to this figure, the latest figure, 2022, we have generated about 39,000, near to 40,000 tons every day. Okay, countrywide, actually, we are generating about 40,000 tons per day. And this is equivalent to 14.6 million tons a year. Okay, this is how much we generate in Malaysia. And I'm going to show you some more statistics that maybe, yeah, it will be a shocking figure for you. Okay, this is the population of Malaysia now. Okay, 32.7 million people in Malaysia. Anybody can guess what is this number? 43.9 million. Any student want to guess what is this? Or I give you a answer first for this because I have a few more lines to go. This is actually the mobile phone subscriber in Malaysia. That means many Malaysians actually holding more than one cell phone. Maybe later you ask your cikgu ada pegang dua telefon tak? Telefon bimbit. Maybe teacher or the headmaster, they are holding more than one cell phone. That's why the phone population in Malaysia is actually more than the population of Malaysia itself in Malaysia. Okay, this will contribute to a lot of e-waste because mobile phone you use for a few years, then you have to discard it, you have to throw it. Okay, then next line here, 131.7 million. Can anyone want to guess what is this? What type of waste is this in Malaysia that we generate by 32.7 million people? 32.7 million Malaysian. Okay, I give you the answer here. It's a lithium battery in Malaysia. You know power bank? I think everybody know power bank. You use cell phone so much, so you have not enough power, so you always have a power bank with you in a wallet, in a bag. Okay, so this is the number of lithium battery in Malaysia, excluding notebooks and rechargeable home batteries. This is only power bank we consume or we use up 131.7 million pieces a year. Okay, the number is keep adding here. Now it becomes 4.1 billion. 32.7 million Malaysian produce 4.1 billion pieces of disposable diapers every year. Okay, this is a shocking numbers, but it is true that many people never realize. Based on the baby population in Malaysia from zero years to 24 months, 2 years old, the baby will not be possible to go to the toilet on their own. Okay, they will not possible to go to the toilet. And nowadays, very few, not to say no, very few parents actually using the conventional washable diapers. There are so many different brands of disposable diapers. Price is getting cheaper also in night market, sometimes pasar malam. So you can see almost all babies now in the country are using disposable diapers. And disposable diapers, I have to tell you, even though we in Chinese especially, we call it a 纸尿片, right? But actually it is not made of paper. It is 90% made of plastics, even including the absorbent that absorb all the liquid in the diapers are actually plastics. So that means I always tell the government, diapers, when we dispose to the landfill, we are actually leaving plastic into the landfill, which will never degrade forever. In other words, a baby that disposed the diapers that this baby use now will stay in the land until the great-great-grandchildren of this baby. That means this baby great-great-grandchildren later can see this piece of diapers actually is used by my great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother. You see, so it can stay there for generations, hundreds of years. Okay, and yeah, the numbers keep increasing. This now is 5.5 billion. Okay, 5.5 billion. What is this? This is face mask. Now because of the pandemic, in the old days, because we used to just live like not using face masks. Since 2 years ago, almost every day, everyone are using a face mask. So I'm talking about the face mask that is disposable, not the cloth or the kain reusable one. The disposable one, we are using about 5.5 billion pieces a year. But this number was calculated during the peak time of the pandemic in 2020 to 2021. Okay, now getting more open, and some people not wearing masks actually outside in the open air, and yet there are more people using also reusable masks. So this number could be reduced now, but the number is still huge. Okay, it's still huge. It's still up to billions of pieces every year. Okay, then the last one here is the largest number that I put here in this slide. This one I'm sure is not related to student, supposed to. Okay, maybe some naughty student involved in this. Cigarette butts. Okay, cigarette butts. If your parents, if your mother, your father is a smoker, tell them. Malaysian smoker actually generate about 14.1 billion pieces of cigarette butts. And how they do with these cigarette butts? They throw on the floor, they throw on the ground. Okay, many of them actually, especially when Malaysian, you see the smokers smoke outside, they just throw on the ground, they just pijak, you know, then that is. So these cigarette butts actually also contain plastic, and most of these cigarette butts on the road, when they are flushed into the drain, end up into the sea, and that will create a big problem of marine plastic and microplastics. Okay, and this number of cigarette butts in Malaysia is tremendous. It's 14.1 billion pieces. So to all the children here, to all the students here, if you want to be a scientist in the future, you can try to look into creating something that the butts can be eaten. So smoker, of course, the best you don't smoke. If you can smoke, you want to smoke, you swallow the whole cigarette butt, so you create no waste on earth. Okay, then there are two small numbers here. Okay, I'm sorry, is one number here is about the straw. I think many of you heard about the government discouraging papers, what I call the plastic straw, right? Replacing it with paper straw. So the the plastic straw consumption in Malaysia actually is about 10.9 billion pieces a year. Okay, right. So where does all these waste go in Malaysia? As I told you before, disposal site in Malaysia, there are 138 operating landfill sites in the country. I believe none of you have been to a landfill site. Who want to go to a landfill site? I think you prefer to go to a shopping mall. Okay, landfill site is where all the rubbish go. Okay, like this is one of the landfill site in Perak area. Perak, one of the cities in Perak. Okay, you can see two men there on the left. One is wearing a yellow color helmet. So this is rather a small landfill, a small one. There are many big ones in Malaysia. This is another one in Kuching. Actually, I have brought two school students to landfill before. The two schools are from Perak, Kampar area. Actually, is a school curriculum activity. They requested to go to the landfill to see in reality how much waste is that is there at the landfill. I brought them one bus, 40 students. Okay, let's go to the landfill. Right, they reached the point where they reach the landfill. They feel the smell, very, very strong smell, and they are so surprised to see the mountain of waste there that they dump actually in Kampar, end up there at the landfill site near to the Kampar. Okay, this is where actually the photo is taken in Kampar landfill site. Okay, you can see a lady there. This is what we call it a scavengers. Scavengers is also a very sad story beyond the bin that I want to share with you. I will show you more story about scavengers in a later part. Okay, this is another landfill. You can see here many landfills in Malaysia actually are not really a good one, because in the right way, all the waste supposed to be covered by soil every day. That means end of the day, you are supposed to use the tanah to cover up all this waste, so that not to expose, so the smell will not be worsened, so it will not breed all the harmful insects or whatsoever. But in Malaysia, most of the landfills are not good landfill, I'm sad to say. Of course, we also have a sanitary landfill like this. You can see the big difference. Sanitary landfill, you can see on the left there, they put on the soil. Okay, so they cover the land with soil. They cover the waste with soil every day. On the right side, what are those kotak-kotak? You know, those rectangle thing. Those are actually, they call it a landfill cell and also some treatment. Okay, because at the landfill site, when the waste degrade, it generates a lot of wastewater. And so this sanitary landfill, they have to channel all the waste water to some pond. We call it a leachate. Leachate is generally means wastewater. Okay, so this wastewater from rubbish need to be proper treated. Okay, then you reduce the hazardous substances, you reduce the toxicity, then only you are allowed to release this treated wastewater into the environment. Okay, so this is the concept and engineering design sanitary landfill. As compared to the previous one I showed you, this is also a landfill, but it's totally open dumping. And I can tell you very sadly, in Malaysia, 85% of our landfill site is like this, is open dumping. Only less than 15% of our landfill site is a proper landfill like this. Okay, because you are mostly students in Johor, right? So I can tell you, Johor, you have good landfills like this. In Silong, there is a good landfill. At the same time, there are many landfills throughout the whole states of Johor, which are like this, open dumping. Okay, no cover, very dirty, very smelly. Okay, of course, one big issue in Malaysia that we are facing, the local government are all facing, is about illegal dumping. I show you a lot of photos of landfills just now. Although it is not good, some of them, many of them, but at least if your waste go to the landfill, it's still okay because it's a disposal site. It is a place to dispose and design for disposal. But many of Malaysians actually, they refuse to send to the right place. Like this photo you can see here, actually they dump just at the roadside, illegal dumping. These are all construction waste. You can see all the batu-bata, all the bricks, okay? And this also is construction waste. After, say, a contractor, they renovate a house, they're not willing to throw the waste to the proper landfill site. They just dump like this, okay? And I remember this officer. This officer is a Majlis Daerah's officer in Pahang State. Every time when I see him, his hair is getting lesser and lesser because he said he cannot stop this problem from happening because this illegal dumping problem happened at night time, maybe 2 a.m. in the morning, sometimes 3 a.m. Yeah, you can dump today at this spot, then tomorrow at different spot. So he is facing big problem and cannot deal with this illegal dumping problem in this council. Okay, so we also did a lot of illegal dumping survey. As you can see here on the right side, up and down, you can see some furniture throwing just at the roadside. So these are all very not responsible way of disposing your waste, especially the bulky waste. If you have a bulky waste generator at home, please remember to tell your parents. They have to take a number, call to the local government or waste management company to call them and ask them to come to pick up. Okay, come to pick up. If your furniture is still usable, you can call some NGO, some charity organization. They normally willing to come to your house and pick up and refurbish, repair, and then they can use it for other people. Okay, then don't just dump at the roadside. There are many other photos that I can show here, illegal dumping. These are all related to one thing, okay, which is the human attitude. The human attitude that is always a big problem in Malaysia. Like you can see here, what is this? This is actually a video game machine. You can see the button there. Actually, it's a video game machine. Maybe the game is already outdated or something, a very old one. So the company, the shop also not willing to proper dispose. They just throw at the roadside like this. Okay, again, at the back there, you can see the machine, the video game machine. In the front here, sofa and tire is an illegal dumping site. Is it because of low awareness? Now, I would say no, because everybody knows illegal dumping is not right, it's wrong. From any religious point of view, it's wrong, but still they do it. Why? Because it's attitude problem. That is the typical problem of Malaysia because of attitude, because of lazy, malas, because the disposal site is quite far away, like 20 kilometers. So they feel lazy, they don't want to send there, they don't want to pay a little bit for it. So they buang merata-rata tempat. So this is the typical problem of many Malaysians that I feel very sad. It's not anymore because of low awareness, but because of attitude. It's the behavior problem. Okay, these are all also the same they throw away all these. These are all the soil, actually. The soil used to cultivate mushroom. Okay, they grow mushroom on the soil. After some few rounds of cultivation, this soil become no more fertility. So they have to throw away. They also throw like this. And the soil actually is wrapped with plastics. Okay, and some from the carpet industry, they throw at the roadside like this because they are not willing to pay to a landfill site somewhere about 15 kilometers away from this place. Okay, so like I said just now, I want to share with you a sad story beyond the bin that I have visited more than 50 landfills in the country. Okay, and I've seen almost all the landfills in our local authorities area. They have these people looking around for recyclables material at the landfill. This is what we call scavengers. Scavengers look for recyclable material like aluminum can, the PET bottle, plastics. They try to take whatever possible for them to sell. Okay, it's very common actually in many countries also, especially more poorer country. Like this photo, I think is in Bangladesh or Pakistan. Okay, it's the same. A lot of scavengers looking for recyclables. But more sad, actually, in many countries, they have highlighted the problem of child scavengers. Child scavengers, of course, you can see from the word, these are scavengers that are budak-budak, you know, they don't go to school. They only live on the landfill site, walk around the landfill site, pick up plastic, pick up the aluminum can. Like you see the boy down there, pick up some 7-Up maybe, yeah, still some remaining drink that he can drink, some remaining food he can eat, then he eat. So these are all very pity situation in many poor country. You see the girl carrying a big plastic bags, maybe inside are all aluminum can. So at this age of maybe 4 years old or 5 years old, they are all living on the landfill without going to school. Okay, many of you maybe guess, okay, these are not Malaysia lah. They don't look like Malaysians also, right? They are maybe in Thailand or Cambodia or Myanmar. Yeah, Philippines, and also a lot in South America. But let me show you. This is in Philippines. This girl is in the Philippines, and you see on the right hand, her right hand is holding a hook, right? Can you see? There is a hook. So at this age of 3 or 4 years old, she already well trained using the hook to pick up aluminum can is the first target because the price is higher. Then second is maybe the mineral water bottle. Then third is the HDPE, the harder bottle. Okay, they are all quite familiar and walking around. Many of them actually not even wearing shoe. Okay, they can step on a glass or anything sharp and can cut and become injury. Yeah. So let me show you here. This photo is taken in Malaysia. Child scavengers in Malaysia. Many people don't believe. Are you sure this is Malaysia? Yes, I can tell you. This is taken in Malaysia in a landfill site in Bukit Beruntung in Kuala Lumpur. Not Kuala Lumpur, is the Selangor area. But this, I have to tell you, this is taken quite a few years ago. I'm not sure, maybe the situation has improved. But during that time, when I went there with the reporter, we were all shocked looking at these children. They are all Orang Asli staying nearby the landfill site. You see the boy in the middle there, same, holding a hook there, and he is already well trained by the parents to pick up aluminum, pick up the PET bottles, mineral bottles like down there, the boy with the red shirt. Okay, so basically all these boys, all these children, they have only a few minutes time. When the truck arrive at the landfill, the truck will start tipping on the landfill. Okay, when the waste come down from the truck, they have about 2 to 3 minutes to look for whatever possible, because after 2-3 minutes, there will be a bulldozer come nearby the waste and push the waste to somewhere, and yeah, maybe down to a valley. Then they have no possibility to pick anything from there. So they have to act very fast. When they see a truck coming, they all stand by and ready. Okay, when the time they tick, a few minutes, they go and pick up. Then that's it. They wait for the next truck, something like that. So you see on the right side of the picture there, when they have some time, some free time, so they just enjoy sitting there and looking very far, like looking to their future. I don't know how they want to survive in the future if they continue like this. This is the message actually we try to raise to the reporter, to the media, to look into this problem seriously. that the children are not going to school and they are actually living on the landfill site. And some of these scavengers that we found, actually they have been staying on the landfill for 3 generations. That means the father and mother already there as a scavengers, and the grandfather, grandmother also there as a scavengers. So these are really a very serious problem that we should help them and to how to disallow or let scavenging activities should be prohibited in Malaysia. Okay, this is just a photo when I did study. I have to talk to them, and most of these children are very shy. They don't want to talk. They are not confident to talk to outsiders, strangers. They feel a bit what I call shy. So yeah, but we want to talk to them. We want to ask them why you don't go to school, why you don't want to what you want to do in the future or something like that. So they will start talking to you. You know the best. You know what's the best way to talk to ask them to talk to you? You bring some ang pao to give to them. Okay, then they will come to you and talk to you. If you want to bring some what I call the junk food, you want to bring some sweets for these children. No, they have more food than you on the landfill. Okay, because the next issue I'm going to bring to you is also a sad story about food wastage in Malaysia. Okay, dump site tragedy in Malaysia, in the Philippines. This is a real risk that can kill all the scavengers on the landfill site. Landfill site is a very risky place, especially in the geography condition where it is a mountain. Okay, this happened in Philippines many years ago after a heavy rain. The whole dump site actually collapsed. And according to this report, 31 scavengers buried alive by waste, by the rubbish at the landfill site. But according to some NGO that told me in the Philippines, more than 200 people actually buried there in the landfill site. And you have no possibility to find out their bodies. No possibilities, because it's a huge, huge, huge mountain of waste. So end up they give up, let the body into the bury in the waste and degrade together with the waste. Okay, so then we try to see what actually contained in our waste, in the waste that we generate in Malaysia. What is the waste composition? You can see here, food waste 44.8%. Food waste, sisa makanan, is almost 45% in Malaysia, followed by plastics 13.2%. And plastic, there are different kind of plastic. Maybe some of you know there are numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 7. Okay, it's different of HDPE, PET, PP, PVC. Later you can ask your teacher what is all this. Then after plastic, as I said just now, we have tremendous number of diapers, 12%, followed by paper, 8.5%. Green waste is not because the waste is green color. Green waste is means the sisa tanaman. Sisa tanaman, that means it's garden waste. If you clean up your garden, the fallen leaf, the branches, all these are considered as green waste. Then of course there are other categories of household hazardous waste, and used beverage carton is those milk carton, milk carton, and also like yours, drink hole, all these drinking packaging, okay, and also metals and glass. So you see the waste composition in Malaysia, we often hear a lot of focuses on plastic, correct? Ban plastic bags, we ban styrofoam plastic food container, no plastic straw, something like that. That is actually a small portion of 13.2%. Let's say the styrofoam. We often hear about ban styrofoam, right? Many places actually no more styrofoam. Styrofoam, you know what is it? Styrofoam is baolilong. Styrofoam is only very, very small. Styrofoam is PS. Where is PS? PS is only 1.4%. You can see down here the red color percentage. So actually, there are many other waste issues to be managed, but unfortunately, all are neglected or put under the carpet now in Malaysia, such as the diapers, big problem. And food waste also, we have a big problem, all go to the landfill. All these are other than plastic, but at the same time, creating a lot of problem in Malaysia. Food waste, I want to highlight in particular this story, Beyond the Bin, because Malaysians really wasted a lot of food in our daily life. Okay, you see these numbers. Just now you see the numbers that I showed already, right? Malaysian, we produce about 40,000 tons of waste every day. About 40% is food waste. And out of this food waste, 10 to 15% actually is food wastage. Okay, it's 浪费食物. Food wastage means there are basically two main categories. It's wasted food because it doesn't taste nice, or you take your food too much, you just don't eat. You don't have appetite to eat on that particular day, you throw it away. Okay, the second category is expired food. Expired food is something not only from your refrigerator, your fridge, or your food storage that you forgot the expired food expiry date, so you just let it go to the waste bin. It also covers some expired food from the industry, from the commercial, like those hypermarket. They also have the food expiry date. After expired, they also have to throw it away. So 10 to 15% of food wastage, 10 to 15% of the total food waste are food wastage, which not supposed to happen. Okay, wasted food and expired food are not supposed to happen because it's caused by human mismanagement or misplanning of food, or the behavior, because it's just simply throw away food. That means in total of this 40,000 tons a day, Malaysian throw away about 2,500 tons of good food every day. How much is this 2,500 tons? It's about 900,000 tons of food every year. 9,000 tons of food. How much is that? If you imagine a lorry that you see on the road, the big one is 10 tons per lorry. So you will see actually there are about 90 trucks of 90, no, not 99. Yeah, is every day you throw about many trucks of food, good food. They just dump away into the landfill. Okay. At the same time, you see, well, we in Malaysia, we wasted a lot of food, but in the world scenario, in Asia, in Africa, in South America, there are more than 500 million people living under the hardcore poverty defined by the World Bank. Okay, so many people thought hunger is only happening in Africa. This is a very wrong perception, because in Asia, in South America, getting more and more countries, people are facing a big problem of poverty and hunger. Each year, more than 15 million children die of hunger in the world, and about 183 million children are underweight. Okay, I don't know, maybe I need to ask the teacher in Johor how many children, students in the school are overweight, because following the statistic, Malaysia children is one of those highest overweight students. I mean the children in Southeast Asia, or maybe Asia also. Okay, so every 3.6 seconds, one person die of hunger in the world. How long already I have been speaking here? About 50 minutes. So you can count how many people actually already die because of hunger in the world. WHO actually estimated that only 1/3 of the world population is well fed. That means well fed. That means there are actually 1/3 is not well fed, and the other 1/3 is actually starving hunger. So of course, I'm sure we in Malaysia, we are the lucky one. We are in the first 1/3 of 33%. We are all living in a good environment, having enough food, and we are all having nutritious food. Okay, but always remember there are 1/3 that have not enough food, and there are another 1/3 that are actually hungry. In the USA, because many people thought USA is a very advanced country, right? Not possible to have hunger, but it is not true. 1 of every 8 children under the age of 12 go to the bed with empty stomach. Okay, not like in Malaysia, you have your supper. What did you have for your supper last night? Or you feel hungry at night, let's go to grab some food, or let's go to the mama store and get some roti canai. That is not possible in some countries. Okay, this is a very just to show you a very interesting cartoon by High Moon. You see the word High Moon there? High Moon is actually direct translation of this Japanese professor. He is a very famous Japanese professor of waste management. As at the same time, he is also a cartoonist. Okay, his name is Takatsuki Sensei. So Takatsuki means a high moon. Okay, so he draw a lot of environmental related cartoon. You can search on the Google. This photo show the extreme difference between two different countries. Where are you in Malaysia? I'm sure you are on the left side. Okay, you are on the left side. I can't eat anymore, but still feeding you and feeding you. But at the same time, on the right side, you can see many countries actually facing big problem. But still in Malaysia, we waste a lot of food. Only 2 days ago, actually, the ATV Patu Kongjian, they have a special series of interview about this food wastage problem. And I've shown my view also about this. The food wastage actually happened in Malaysia in many stages, including from the wet market. Okay, at the market, this is at the pasar. You go to the pasar when they close down. I think the teacher can bring the children to the pasar when the pasar around noon time, they start to clean up and close their operation. You will see a lot of food wastage there that they throw away. Okay, you see the vegetables, the melon there, the tomato, all the what is that, bitter gourd? Is it called bitter gourd kukwa? Okay, all thrown away into the dustbin. Then I asked the hawkers, why you throw this away? Because one thing, tomorrow is going to be too ripe. It's too ripe and too yellowish and nobody want to buy. And tomorrow, another batch of new one is coming that people will choose the new one. And also some of these, because the shape is a little bit not nice, it's a little bit bengkok, so they don't want to buy. So nobody will buy, so they throw it away. So you see here, like end of the operation or in the pasar, this is in Ipoh big market, they dump away the whole basket of tomato. Is the same reason. Tomorrow is going to be new tomato coming, more fresh. This one is already nobody interested. Okay, vegetables like this is what the whole box, the whole carton box of vegetables. You think it's not possible to cook, to eat this? It is still good, but still we throw away a lot. At the same time, at the market, I saw all these people. These are all the foreign workers. I can see they are from Indonesia or Bangladesh. They actually went into the bin and pick up this food. Okay, of course, they see me taking photos and also doing some research there. They feel a little bit embarrassed and shy. I asked them, please, no worry about it. You just take back whatever you can. Okay, so they pick up whatever the back home and they can still eat. This is a very bad situation actually in Malaysian market, and most of the market, I can say almost all market. That's why when one majlis in Malaysia, they asked me to go to the market and see, I suggested to the majlis, please set up a special corner where all the hawkers, end of operation, please put your vegetables nicely on the table in that corner instead of going to the bin, and let people go there and pick up nicely with more what I call comfortably. They can take the food back home instead of going into the waste bin. They have to go into the waste bin and pick up the food, go home. So I hope the council will follow the advice and set up some free counter. Okay, and this is not a market, but this is in what I call the Cameron Highland distribution point. Okay, still again, you see the chili actually is not selling, it's already thrown away. Okay, down there, watermelon and also the what I call the pumpkin, all these are wasted food in Malaysia. Those are at the market side. On the dining table, this is what happened. Okay, in a dinner with friends, this is so-called already finished, everybody almost ready to go home. This is what happened on the plate, that you see a lot of food left untouched or a big portion still there that people don't finish. In Malaysia, particularly, I think the Chinese wedding dinner is a very ugly scenario that I have done study. About 30% of waste go to the rubbish bin. Okay, now recent years, I found there are some improvement, because the Chinese wedding, what I call the restaurant, they try to propose some more simple dishes and reduce the number of dishes so that they don't waste food much. So previously, easily one wedding dinner will have 30% of waste, 30% of good food go to the waste bin, especially the last one, nasi goreng, fried rice, or what the sticky rice or something that you're already very full, but still they serve the last dish of rice that all go to the landfill, all go to the dustbin. Okay, this is also what happened. This is what I mean. The last dish of rice, nobody eat and go to the waste bin. Okay, this is also same. I particularly found a lot of this in the younger children's plate. Younger children, many of Malaysian younger children already spoiled by the parents. Tak sedap, not delicious, or today I feel no appetite to eat. It's okay, just leave it. That will never happen to my children. Okay, since small, I educated them. No single piece of rice should be wasted on the plate. They have to clean up everything. Okay, so same thing for other, I think in school, especially in the canteen, I actually give talk to some schools and I really tell the school headmaster and also teachers, please observe the children's attitude at the canteen to see whether they have this kind of wasteful attitude during the recess time, let's say, so that we can educate them that food shall not be wasted at any place, including school or at home. You must finish it to the last piece of your rice. So after the market wastage, your dining table wastage, you see a lot of things actually throw at the landfill site. Landfill site is where we dispose the waste, but you sometimes we see a lot of things like this, like this is a potato. The whole lorry, the whole truck of potato, they dump at the landfill site. Why? I also don't know why. But after we talked to the council, maybe we realized the hawker, they couldn't sell this oversupply of this potato. So some of these already not good to sell. So they just dump it at the landfill site, including like this, okay, carrot, potato, all dump away. And in many landfills, actually, I found different kind of food, like this chocolate I found in the landfill site. I try to look at the expiry date, still not expired. I also don't understand why people throw it away. It just have no reason to throw it away. And this is also at the landfill site. If I see closer, actually, there is beef on the right here. These are all beef from Australia, imported from Australia, very expensive beef, but thrown away by a hypermarket. This actually is a food expired, thrown away by a hypermarket to the landfill site. And I also pick up a bundle of this banana. Okay, it looks still good. Actually, it's still, yeah, I'm sure this can be eaten if you put another 1 or 2 days, but still the people throw it away. Sometimes it just have no reason, but people throw it away. Okay, so I really realized a very serious problem of food wastage in Malaysia and try to educate and try to put on some articles about food wastage problem and try to educate people, please don't waste food. That's why one of the newspapers, Xinqiu, actually they put a very good article that I wrote. I like the topic that they put, 全球粮食荒大马酒肉臭. That means the whole world actually facing hunger. But does it matter to Malaysia? No. Actually, Malaysian, many of us, we don't feel the pain. We still feel hunger is a problem very, very far from us. It will happen in some other countries like Africa and South America. It never happened in Malaysia. So this kind of mindset, I think especially parents, please educate the children not to waste any piece of, even single piece of rice on the plate. Okay, this is again a poster published by my NGO last time. I think many people, especially the young, not only young, I think some elderly people, the parents also, before taking food, they like to take a photo, a nice food and post on Facebook and share. Okay, nothing wrong, nothing wrong. It's just a matter of whether you have this habit or not. Okay, do you take photo of the food you're eating? These children are not possible to see how delicious your food posted on the Facebook. They just pray and wish you don't waste any food so that they can share more resources on earth. So this is just a message that no need to show lah. You don't need to show a lot of nice photo, how much you have, how much nice food you have, but make sure you don't waste. Okay, you make sure you don't waste because there are so many people on earth that they have not enough food. Here, the next topic I want to share with you. Now I have spent about 1 hour. Okay, I have a few more topics, small topics to share with you. Some common misconceptions about recycling and waste management in Malaysia, that even some teachers, some adults, they often have this misconception. So first thing, when you see these photos, on the left, on the right, you see what? Plastics, right? So many articles also you can read. A lot of articles talk about plastic. The what I call the plastic is often said to be the biggest culprit to the environment. It cannot degrade. It will stay forever in the environment. We use plastic in a tremendous amount, and single-use plastic and so on. And furthermore, you see a lot of photos like plastic killing the animals. I think many people see the turtles, the what I call as plastic straw go into the, it's not called nose, it's like nose, into the turtle's nose, then end up plastic straw is banned in many countries. Okay, like this fishing net, a plastic bag, and also some other plastic material that kills the animals. Who is the culprit? Plastics. Okay, you see this photo? This NGO, they put a banner there. A lot of things they found at the beach is polluted by single-use plastic. I think you know what is single-use, right? Single-use means you use one time, then you throw away, like straw, like the food packaging. You just use one time, then you throw away. It's polluted by single-use plastic. But what I tried to tell you now is, no, it's polluted by human. Okay, you see again this photo one more time. Who throw away this plastic waste is human. Okay, we cannot be so naive that say all the plastic that clog the drain and cause flooding in KL is caused by plastic. It's humans who throw the rubbish into the drain. Okay, the plastic that float in the sea that kill the animals, don't blame the plastic. It's human that throw the waste and cause the animals killed. So basically, the message here is important. Don't just blame plastic because plastic is just a product. It's just some material. Okay, it's human to use the plastic and mismanage plastics. Okay, human is the only creatures on earth that creates waste that nature cannot digest. That is very, very true. This statement actually I found from some professor. Human is the only creature on earth that create waste that the nature cannot digest. Plastic, nature cannot digest. They can stay for thousands of years. So that is created by human. Okay. And you see this photo. I have taken this photo when one person went to a restaurant to tapao. They went to buy food. Okay. One single meal, they use 7 types of plastic products. You see here, plastic straw on the left, plastic cap, plastic cup holder, plastic cup. Then on the right side, plastic bag. In the plastic bag, there is a plastic container with food inside and a plastic spoon inside. So you see this kind of consumption pattern of human. Is human the real culprit? Yes, we are the real culprit. You see this photo actually, except the chicken and rice and vegetable, all are plastics. Except the food, all are plastics. You simply don't care. So this kind of don't care attitude is the culprit. Don't just blame plastic is the culprit. It's some very stupid thinking of human that only blame plastic is the culprit. It's human is the culprit. Okay, some other misconception that I want to make you understand here is many people thought everything paper is recyclables. No, let me tell you, paper cups. If you see paper cups from some coffee maker, some very famous brand of coffee shops, okay, coffee chain shop, franchise, as long as it's a paper cup, paper plate, it cannot be recycled. Because paper cup and paper plate, they contain a thin layer of plastics or wax on it, which is not possible to be recycled. So if you see paper cup, never ever thought that it is a very user-friendly, very environmental friendly. No. That include paper food wrappers and paper food boxes. The second one cannot be recycled. If you see like some people selling nasi lemak, they use a paper wrapper, right? The paper, the brown color paper. And also you see the photo here on the right side, the paper box, so-called, it cannot be recycled. The reason is the same. There is a thin layer of plastics and also wax that make it non-recyclable. So the best is bring your own container, bring your own tumbler, bring your own cup. That will solve all these problems. Okay, paper straw is the same, cannot be recycled. I think the paper straw replace plastic straw is kind of is not too wise from my view, because paper straw cannot be recycled, but plastic straw technically it can be recycled, because plastic straw is made of mainly PP plastic, which can be recycled. But when we replace with paper straw cannot be recycled. But maybe people will say, but paper can degrade. It's okay. But paper can degrade and generate carbon dioxide. The thin layer of wax and plastic still will not degrade. Okay. And the worst thing I see in Malaysia actually is when we use paper straw to replace a plastic straw, there is no control on the paper straw quality. That means the paper straw that we use may contain some bleaching agent, 漂白剂, or chemicals, 化学物品, on the paper straw itself, or coloring or something like that. But nobody control, and we just put in our mouth and use the straw. So that is something I think the government actually have not done enough initiative or study or research to prove that paper straw is really better to replace a plastic straw. Number 4, dirty or contaminated plastic food boxes normally not being recycled. You see, when you tapao, when you go to the shop and take away all the food, the mixed rice or something, after you eat, what you do? Because you feel there is a PP plastic boxes, it can be recycled. It will be recycled, and it will be recycled only if it is clean. Okay, if you just finish your rice and with all the ketchup, all the leftover in the plastic box, you dump into the waste bin, it will go to the landfill and nobody will pick up because it's dirty. And the recycler will not spend any effort to clean up the plastic for recycle. That's why in my house, when we use whatever plastic boxes, we are going to clean it up before we segregate for the next step of recycling. Then it will be recycled. Okay, but Malaysian, I realized many Malaysians just finish the food and then they will just directly dump into the dustbin and never wash. Okay, next misleading point, misconception point is styrofoam, 保丽龙. Many of you maybe heard 保丽龙 cannot be recycled, but I can tell you here, styrofoam actually can be recycled 100%. Okay, it's just a misconception that styrofoam cannot be recycled, but technically can be recycled. It doesn't mean on the ground people are doing it, because styrofoam is something very, very light. Is it right? You can feel styrofoam is something very light because it contains more than 99% is air. Only very small portion of the plastic contained in this styrofoam. So for recyclers, they don't make much money from recycling of styrofoam. So they don't really do styrofoam recycling unless the quantity is huge, such as the styrofoam from packaging material, from the new electric products that you buy. Sometimes they have big pieces of styrofoam waste, so they can do recycling from that. Okay, use beverage carton, UBC. You see the photo there, milk. Okay, milk carton, and also some like Milo carton, all these beverage carton is not paper. Many people also thought it is paper because in Chinese we call it a 纸盒. Okay, what I call it, yeah, it is not paper because it is actually containing 6 different layers of material in this carton. Plastic, no aluminum, I think it's plastic, and also some fiber and different kind of layer. So there are 6 layers. So it should be segregated separately for recycling. Don't mix it with paper. Okay, don't mix it with paper. The next one, face masks, disposable diapers are made of plastic and not recyclable. As I already explained earlier, they are not really paper. Don't mix up that these are all papers. No, they are not paper. Although we call it 纸尿片, it is not paper. Okay, so environmental awareness in Malaysia, I think this particular is important for teachers. especially this talk is initiated by a school. I think it's important for the teachers to know a little bit about the attitude of Malaysian. You can see these photos, like it's quite common scenario in Malaysia. Some waste dump into this river and then end up into the sea, illegally dump at the roadside or into the drain. Okay, so is it because of low awareness? That's what I already explained earlier. No, Malaysia awareness is not that low, but it's the attitude problem. That's why I always tell people, it's time for us to change attitude instead of keep creating awareness. Of course, awareness creation, I believe, it still need to be in a concurrent, in line, together in parallel with attitude change. But we can't afford anymore after 20 years. Since 20 years ago, we talk about awareness creation. After 20 years, still again, we talk about awareness creation. So where have we achieved about awareness? You see the photos on the left actually is a very sad thing, because I have to tell you, this is in a university. In the Malaysian university, after an event, this is what you see actually on the ground. That means even a university student, there is no attitude. There is a very bad behavior on waste, and they just dump like this. So how to talk about awareness? This is not awareness at all. I don't think any university students don't understand that this is not right. So everybody knows, but not doing it, it is already a bad attitude problem. Okay, then next about, I always like to share this quote. I think it's very interesting. What is the meaning of your education? If you throw away your rubbish around, and your rubbish needs to be cleaned up by cleaners who are so-called not so educated. Okay, you understand what it means? So if you see anybody just throw on, it's okay, later somebody will clean it up. It's the best quote to tell and educate these people. Okay, it's so shameful on your education. Okay, it's an attitude problem. Okay, so here again, I already show you some illegal dumping problem, but what it will relate, actually, the message that I want to carry to teacher, when a person seems small, they can do littering on the ground. When they grow older, then when they are in the business, when they are in the factory as the boss, they will create problem like this. This is Sungai Kim Kim in Johor. I think you are all from Johor. You know about this incident. Sungai Kim Kim heavily polluted by some industry nearby. Okay, so these industrial bosses, I'm sure they are those that are not well educated since small about littering, about illegal dumping. Then when they grown up, become a bosses of a factory, they also do the same, and the problem they create is larger and larger. And this is a big problem during that time in Sungai Kim Kim. So mindset of Malaysian attitude, are you one of them? You try to see there are 6 typical mindset here. Do it next time lah. The situation is not that bad yet. Okay, it's okay, still not that bad, so it's okay, don't do it, no need to do it now. The second is okay, other people will do it. Like I said just now, you throw it on the ground, some other people will clean it lah. Number 3 is tedious lah. Count me out, doesn't matter. Only me alone not doing it is not a problem. So many other people will do it. And some elderly people, stubborn people, they will say, many years already I'm doing this. What? Any problem? No problem. Why you're talking this is not right? I've been doing this for the long time already. Okay, the next one, other people also doing the same. Not only me. What's the problem? Okay, and the last one, other people not doing. Why do I need to do? Okay, no incentive. Why I'm not? That's why I'm not doing. So this is all very typical Malaysian attitude that we have gathered all findings from different research and survey. Very bad mindset that stop our environment to become better. Okay, if you realize one of these reasons happen to be with your parents, with any of your friends, please educate them. We have to do our parts. Otherwise, we will never be able to achieve the status as a developed nation, which you can see here. On the right side, we are going towards a mindset of a developed nation. On the left side, we continue to be a developing country. even moving backwards to be less and less in terms of awareness. We are at a juncture now. Where you want to go? Of course, we want to go. I want to see you, all the peoples, all the students, go to the right side. Okay, moving towards the developed nations means we take care of their environment as our responsibility, and willingness to pay a little bit for a better environment is okay. And feel shameful if you don't do anything. Feel shameful if you don't do anything enough. Okay, exchanging ideas, like in some European country, actually they have very good platform to exchange ideas. And the sense of worrying if environment is not protected, so they feel worried if their environment is getting polluted and something like that. And try to mainstream environmental issues in any of whatever business, whatever topic that you do. Try to mainstream environmental issues as one of the topic. So changing of mindset and attitude is the only way forward. This is in line with what actually the world, United Nations warning to the world. Eat less meat is the only way. Changing of mindset and attitude is where related to that also. Only when you change your mindset and attitude to eat less meat, to also do your part to take care of the environment, you would need to do it now, take action now, because we have no time to delay. The whole world situation is at a very, very alarming stage now that we cannot afford any more delay. This is a summarize of what actually I want to bring the message to all the teachers. These are a very short, a few words here, but it carries a lot of meaning. If you can plant all this seed in the heart of all students. Okay, first, obey the law of nature. Okay, at the bottom there, no compromise on any pollution, including a small thing that you litter on the street. No compromise. Then you see the blue one, no wastage, reduce waste, conserve energy, reduce carbon. By doing all these simple things, actually you can actually plant, I put it here, planting hopes. Only by doing this, you can inculcate all these good practices into the heart of all the younger generation, and the responsibility actually on the shoulder of the teachers. Okay, teachers can educate students to do this since young day. Okay, this is I think is the last slide. It's just a message also by Takatsuki Professor Haimon Sensei. You see here, save some for the future generation, please. Okay, Dad and Mom, please save some for us. I think many of the parents here, they don't really see the future about how bad the environment we live for the next generation. They just see whatever they can consume now and finish now in their current generation. Okay, that is basically what I want to share in this 1.5 hour almost, and I leave it to teacher to coordinate some of the questions that you want to ask. Anything about what I have presented, or anything that you want to ask about environment and waste management. Today, basically, I show a lot of photos just to show you, because I believe showing photo is easier for you to catch up instead of reading all the words, especially for students. And it is my intention not to show you like what can be recycled, what cannot be recycled. I think that is very simple, and many teachers actually can get all this information online and show you how you segregate what are recyclable things, what are not recyclable things, to educate the children. So I try to show photos beyond the bin that maybe many of you have not been to the landfill and never aware how serious our food wastage problem and so on. Okay, so that is what I tried in this sharing. I would like to answer question if any of you have any question. Can be in English, can be in Mandarin, not Tamil, sorry, I cannot understand Tamil. I see a lot of things in the chat box, but I won't be able to read all. Maybe teacher can help to pick up some questions from here.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Tang, for his inspiring yet informative speech. So now we are going. All right, so now we are going to answer your questions. Actually, we already taken some of the questions from the YouTube. So as a reminder for the participants, you can still submit the questions through the comments in our chat box. So for our first question is, Dr. Tang, what should we do with the conventional fluorescent lamp that is no longer in use? Do we just throw them into the rubbish or landfills? Is there any way to make sure that the lamps will not pollute the environment?
Okay, good question. Because just now I explained, fluorescent lamp contain mercury. Okay. In some countries where the regulations already in place, fluorescent lamp must be segregated for another proper treatment. But in Malaysia, unfortunately, we have no specific regulations on fluorescent lamp. So for every one of you, if you have a fluorescent lamp at home, including myself, fluorescent lamp, we have no other choice but put into the waste bin, and the waste truck will carry to the landfill site. At least it is not into the environment like at the roadside or somewhere else, but to the disposal site. But not to apply this to all generator, because industrial and also commercial, if you have fluorescent lamp in a larger quantity, it is by regulation that the fluorescent lamp must be disposed by licensed contractor. They must transport this fluorescent lamp to licensed treatment facility to properly remove properly treat the fluorescent lamp so that the hazardous, the toxic to the environment to be minimized. Okay, so if you are asking about a fluorescent lamp from the household, I have to tell you it is unfortunate we don't have a system in place. But if you are in Johor, I think many of you are aware of the company called SWM Environment. SWM Environment is a company that collect waste from house to house. Okay, they come to your house to collect 2 times of the green color bins. And 1 time, actually, they come to your house to collect segregated recyclables, green waste, and bulky waste. You're aware of that? So fluorescent lamp, suppose if you are in Johor State, you can actually segregate the fluorescent lamp for them to collect it. At least they would collect it separately and they will send to a proper disposal method. Okay?
So another question from the participant, Dr. Tang. So is there any meaningful projects which you have carried out? Do you mind to share some with us?
Oh, I have done many projects. Okay, maybe in short, I can summarize a few. Like food waste, I mentioned the big problem here in Malaysia. 45% is food waste. So we have helped Malaysian government in collaboration with the Japanese government. We prepare a plan, a strategic plan for Malaysia government, how to reduce food waste generation in Malaysia. So that is one thing that we try to produce. And also we have done development of waste management guideline, let's say for construction waste industry. So for renovation company, for developer, for what I call the construction companies, how you should deal with the construction waste. There is a different kind of waste. Then currently also with the Department of Environment Malaysia, we tried to develop a new regulation on electronic waste management. Electronic waste means, just now I already showed you the washing machine, refrigerator, aircon, all this from the household. It should be proper collected and treated. Like in Japan, is totally a proper system in place. So we also help the Malaysian government to prepare a regulation how to proper dispose of all the electronic waste. These are just a few. Of course, we have a lot more. If you are interested, we can share more after this.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for your sharing. And another question from another participant. Dr. Tang, may we know that which areas do you think Malaysia's government can improve in terms of waste management?
Oh, there are too many
Which
areas.
Too many areas.
Too many areas that we have to improve. Actually, yeah, because waste management we talk about from generation. Generation means from your house, from the office, from school. Generation, then into the bin, which is storage. From the bin is a transportation collection, collect by the company, transport, and then some to recycle, some to disposal site. The whole process, I would say every stages has big room for improvement, a big room of improvement, especially at the disposal site. As I told you just now in the statistic, 85% of our landfill site actually has no proper sanitary system. So means we are all dumping the waste in the open way. So expose all the smell, all the pollutants to the environment. So that part really a lot of improvement. In terms of collection storage, I think it's not too bad. At least I think in Johor, every household you are given a bin, green color bin. Is it right? I think
Yes.
I think in Johor is gray color. Is it gray color?
Green color.
Gray color, right? I think every landed household you are given a bin, and at least the company come to your house to collect the waste without fail every week. So collection and bin storage system is still not too bad. Generation, yes, a lot of education needs to be improved to increase the people change their attitude. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. And I think one more. Can I have another question? The last one may be, which country has done a great job in making our Earth a better place? What do you think that we can learn from them? Which country like a role model for us can be a role model for us?
It is difficult to pick one single country to be our model because we cannot copy and paste. Like I want to copy Japanese model and copy all in Malaysia, or copy one from Germany and paste in Malaysia. No. So it like legal system regulation, we have something to learn from Taiwan maybe. Then disposal part, maybe we have some to learn from Denmark. And incineration part, maybe we have some to learn from Japan. Of course, Japanese, I think the best for us to learn from Japan, I studied in Japan. So the best for us to learn from Japan is their culture and attitude. Because I think many of you know Japanese is a very polite and very disciplined nation. So really, that is a very big area for us to learn how the Japanese can be that disciplined and that self-discipline, I will call it self-discipline in Japan, that really respected by the whole world. How Japanese can be disciplined today.
Okay, doctor. Thank you for your sharing. Thank you for
Yeah.
all your answers. I think due to our time constraint, I think that this is all for our Q&A session for today. So if you have any questions that we didn't manage to get today, please do comment and contact us. We will pause a recording of this program on YouTube after the end of this program. So once again, I would like to thank Dr. Tang for taking his time to speak to our students and teachers about the environment and waste management in our country, the stories beyond the bins. I felt that your remarks on the problems of wastage in Malaysia were especially timely and also stimulating. So now, the moment we have all waiting for, all the participants can start to fill in the registration form given by the link for the e-certificates. You can also scan the given scan. And reminder once again, for year 4 to year 6 students, you will need to answer at least 60% and above for the quiz correctly, whereas for Form 1 to Form 3 students, you will need to score at least 70% and above to obtain the e-certificates for today's program. Do note that this form will not be accessible after 10 p.m. today. So on behalf of SGK Sing for You Too, we would like to thank all of you once again for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you. See you all. Take care. Bye.
Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor Tang.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Doctor. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.